In travel news for February 15th, 2021, we go over updates to the testing requirements for visitors to France. We share some good news from Air France, and we cover current COVID testing entry requirements for visitors or travelers returning to the United States. But before we get into all that, I'm Brandon with the Adept Traveler, and this is Today in Travel. The good news for international travelers keeps coming. France is the most recent country to waive pre-departure COVID testing for fully vaccinated travelers. Previously, France required a negative COVID PCR test taken within 72 hours of departure, or a negative antigen test taken within 48 hours of departure. The new rule will require that fully vaccinated travelers show proof of vaccination status and provide a sworn statement that they haven't been in contact with a confirmed case of COVID-19 and also not currently exhibiting symptoms of COVID. France's definition of fully vaccinated is similar to many other countries. It's having received both doses or a booster within the previous 9 months. Unvaccinated travelers to France still face difficulty being allowed to visit. They will be required to provide a negative PCR test taken within 72 hours of departure or antigen test taken within 48 hours of departure and provide a compelling reason for their trip. Children under the age of 12 are currently exempt. And more good news for travelers wanting to visit France. Air France is restoring numerous flights between the United States and Paris this summer. Beginning this March, flights will resume from New York to Paris, as well as 5 weekly flights from Fort Worth, Texas to Paris. In May, direct flights will resume from Denver. Air France plans on operating nearly 200 transatlantic routes between the US and France this summer, a nearly 20% increase over the same period in 2019. With so many countries removing entry requirements for vaccinated travelers, travel associations in the United States have started to put pressure on the US government for the removal of testing requirements for vaccinated travelers entering the country. Associations such as the International Air Transport Association, American Society of Travel Advisors, the U.S. Travel Association, Airlines for America, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and many more. Unfortunately, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention isn't willing to entertain the idea at this time, and a timetable for their removal has not been made public. So, for the time being, current testing requirements will remain in place. The current testing requirements for U.S. travelers returning home or for foreign visitors entering the U.S. calls for proof of a negative COVID viral test taken within 24 hours of boarding the flight. Those that have recently recovered from COVID can opt to provide documentation of recovery that is no more than 90 days from the departure. If you have any questions about what we covered today or any travel questions at all, please ask in the comments or visit our website to get in touch with us. Today in Travel is brought to you by The Adept Traveler, a travel agency that specializes in accessible travel. Our goal is to help all travelers, from the novice to the expert, from the able-bodied to the disabled, to travel well. If you'd like to stay updated on travel news, tips, tricks, and other insights, which will help you to travel like an adept traveler, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on your social platform of choice. We are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and occasionally TikTok. And of course, you can always visit our website at adept.travel. Until next time, travel well, my friends.